The cargo ship Resilience moved slowly through the dark space between stars. Captain Sarah Chen sat in her chair on the bridge, watching the stars pass by on the main screen. The ship was old, but reliable. It had carried medical supplies, food, and other important items to frontier colonies for over 10 years. How much longer until we reach Haven Colony? Sarah asked her navigator, Tom Willis. Tom checked his computer. About 6 hours, Captain. We should arrive right on schedule. Sarah nodded. Haven Colony needed these medical supplies badly. The disease had spread through their settlement and people were dying. The Resilience carried the medicine that could save hundreds of lives. This was not just another cargo run. This was a rescue mission. Chief Engineer Marcus Rodriguez walked onto the bridge. His hands were dirty from working in the engine room. Captain, everything is running smooth. The new power cells we bought on Kepler Station are working perfectly. Good work, Marcus, Sarah said. She trusted Marcus completely. He had kept the Resilience flying when other ships would have broken down long ago. The ship's communications officer, Jenny Park, suddenly looked worried. Captain, I'm picking up something on the scanners. 3 ships are approaching fast. Sarah stood up quickly. Can you identify them? Jenny's fingers moved over her controls. They're not showing any identification signals. And Captain... There. Moving in attack formation. Sarah's heart began to beat faster. Pirates were common in this part of space. The frontier colonies were far from the main shipping lanes where the Galactic Patrol could protect them. Red alert. All crew to battle. Stations. The lights on the bridge changed to red. An alarm sounded throughout the ship. Sarah knew her crew would be scared. The Resilience was not a warship. It was a cargo vessel with only basic shields and no weapons. Incoming transmission, Jenny announced. Put it on screen, Sarah ordered. The main screen showed the face of an alien creature. It had gray skin, large yellow eyes, and sharp teeth. Sarah recognized the species immediately. Kethfer pirates. They were known throughout the galaxy as ruthless killers who showed no mercy. Human cargo ship. The aliens spoke in broken English. This is war leader Zeke Farr of the Kethfer clan. You will stop your engines and prepare to be boarded. Resist, and you will die. Sarah stepped forward. This is Captain Chen of the cargo vessel Resilience. Carry medical supplies for a colony. People will die if these supplies don't reach them. The alien laughed. It was a horrible sound. We do not care about your weak colony. You have 10 seconds to comply, or we will disable your ship. Sarah looked at her crew. They were all staring at her, waiting for orders. She could try to run, but the pirate ships were faster. She could try to fight, but they had no weapons. She had to think of something. Marcus, can we outrun them? She asked quietly. Marcus shook his head. No chance, Captain. Their ships are military grade. We're just a cargo hauler. Time is up, human, the alien said on the screen. You chose to resist. The screen went black. A moment later, the Resilience shook violently. Sparks flew from control panels. The lights flickered and went out for several seconds. They hit us with some kind of electromagnetic pulse. Marcus shouted over the alarms. It's frying our systems. Sarah grabbed her chair as the ship shook again. How bad is it, bad, Captain? Really bad. The pulse is designed to disable alien technology. All our main systems are going down. The bridge went dark except for emergency lighting. Sarah could hear the hum of the engines getting weaker and weaker until they stopped completely. The artificial gravity began to fail, and Sarah felt herself becoming lighter. Life support? She asked. Running on backup power, Marcus replied, but it won't last long. The ship shook one more time, but this was different. Something had attached to their hull. The pirates were boarding them. They're cutting through the airlock, Jenny said, her voice shaking with fear. Sarah looked around at her crew. There were 12 humans aboard the Resilience. They were cargo haulers, not soldiers. But they were still alive, and they were not going to give up without a fight? Listen to me, Sarah said to her crew. These pirates think we're helpless. They think humans are weak. Let them think that. Do whatever they say to stay alive. We'll find a way out of this. Heavy footsteps echoed through the ship's corridors. The aliens were coming. The airlock door burst open. 6 HFY pirates entered. The bridge, carrying energy weapons, were tall, muscular creatures with gray skin and wearing black armor. Their leader, the one who had spoken to them on the screen, looked around the bridge with satisfaction. "Humans," he said with disgust. "So weak, so pathetic. You could not even try to fight." Sarah stepped forward. She kept her hands visible and tried to look defeated. "We surrender. Just ...
Now, please.
Please don't hurt my crew." The alien leader laughed again. "We will take what we want from your ship, your cargo, your supplies, your technology. Then we will leave you here to die slowly in the cold of space." The pirates began searching the ship. They took everything valuable they could find. The medical supplies, the food, the spare parts, even personal belongings from the crew quarters. They worked quickly and efficiently, like they had done this many times before. "Your ship is old junk," one of the pirates said to Marcus. "Human technology is garbage compared to ours." Marcus said nothing, but Sarah could see the anger in his eyes. After 2 hours, the pirates finished loading their stolen goods onto their own ships. The leader came back to the bridge one last time. "We are done here," he announced. "Your ship is dead. Your engines are dead. Your communications are dead. No one will find you in time. You will drift in space until your air runs out." The pirates left through the airlock. Sarah and her crew listened as the alien ships detached from their hull and flew away. They were alone in the dark, disabled ship, floating in empty space with no way to call for help. "Well," Sarah said after a long silence, "now what do we do?" Captain Sarah Chen floated in the dark bridge of the Resilience. The emergency lights cast red shadows on the walls. The air was getting thinner with each breath around her. The crew sat quietly, waiting for someone to speak. "Have Sarah?" asked Marcus. The chief engineer checked his handheld scanner. It was one of the few devices still working. "Maybe 8 hours of air left. The backup life support is failing faster than I thought." Sarah closed her eyes. 8 hours. Not enough time for a rescue ship to find them. Not enough time to send a distress signal that anyone could hear. "The pirates had made sure of that, Captain," said Dr. Lisa Park, the ship's medic. "I need to tell you something. I wasn't always a doctor." Sarah looked at her. "What do you mean? For medical school? I was in the Earth Defense Corps." "I was. An engineer? I built things. I fixed things. I made things that weren't supposed to work. Work." Marcus turned to look at Lisa. "What kind of things? Combat engineering? Field repairs? Taking broken equipment and making it fight again?" Lisa pushed herself over to one of the damaged control panels. "These alien systems, they're efficient, but they're not tough. When that electromagnetic pulse hit us, it fried everything because it was all connected." "So what are you saying?" Sarah asked. Lisa smiled for the first time since the attack. "I'm saying these pirates made a mistake. They think human technology is garbage. But garbage can be useful if you know how to use it." Marcus began to understand. "The mining equipment in Cargo Bay 3, it's all human-made. Old Earth technology." "Exactly," Lisa said. "And the kitchen appliances, the exercise equipment even, some of the personal electronics? Human engineers build things to last. They build things that can be fixed with basic tools." Sarah felt a spark of hope. "What do you need, everyone?" Lisa said. "We're going to tear this ship apart and put it back together. But we're going to do it the human way." The crew spread out through the ship. In the cargo bay, they found the mining laser array that was supposed to be delivered to Haven Colony. The miners used these powerful lasers to cut through rock and metal. Marcus and Lisa worked together to disconnect it from its damaged control unit. "This laser is still good," Marcus said. "The pulse didn't affect it because it has its own power source." In the kitchen, Jenny and Tom removed the plasma heating units from the cooking stoves. These units generated intense heat for preparing food, but Lisa had a different idea for them. "We can use these as weapon power sources," she explained. "They're not military grade, but they're stable and they won't overload." Dr. Park opened up a storage locker filled with spare parts. Most ships carried extra components for repairs, but the Resilience had more than most. Sarah believed in being prepared. Look at this, Lisa said, holding up a bundle of cables. Fiber optic communication lines. Can use these to create a new control network. It won't be as fast as the alien systems, but it will work. The work was hard and dangerous. The crew had to move carefully in the low gravity. They used hand tools and portable lights to work in the dark corridors. Every few minutes, someone would float to a window to check if the pirate ships were coming back. Marcus found something interesting in the engine room. Captain, the main fusion reactor is damaged, but the backup generators are still working. They're human-made, from Luna. Corporation, how much power do they produce? Sarah asked. Not much compared to the main reactor, but maybe enough to run a basic propulsion system. Lisa was already thinking ahead. We don't need to go fast, just need to move, and we need to be able to defend ourselves. In crew quarters, they found personal computers, gaming devices, and communication equipment. Most of it was broken by the electromagnetic pulse, but some pieces still worked. My tablet computer still functions, said Jenny. It has Earth's military encryption software on it. Why? Asked Tom. Jenny looked embarrassed. My brother is in the Navy. He gave it to me for protection. Lisa's eyes lit up. Military software. That means it can interface with weapon systems. Duh. Crew worked for 6 hours without stopping. They connected the mining laser to the kitchen heating units. They ran new control cables throughout the ship using fiber optic lines from the communication system. They jury-rigged a navigation computer. Using 3 personal tablets linked together, the propulsion system was the hardest part. The main engines were completely dead. But Marcus had an idea. The garbage disposal system, he said. It uses compressed air to shoot waste into space. If we reverse it and add more power, you want to use our garbage system as a rocket engine? Sarah asked. It won't be fast, but it will move us, Marcus replied. Dr. Park helped Marcus modify the waste disposal system. They connected it to the backup generators and reinforced the exhaust ports. It was not elegant, but it looked like it. Might work. The life support was easier to fix. Human-made air recyclers were simple and tough. Lisa found spare parts in the maintenance storage and got the primary life support system working again. We have air, she announced, and we have power. Sarah floated in the middle of what used to be the bridge. It looked completely different. Now, cables ran along the walls. Control panels were connected to kitchen equipment and mining tools. Warning lights blinked from devices that were never meant to work together. Does anyone think this will actually work? She asked. Marcus grinned. Captain, I've seen human engineers fix a transport shuttle using nothing but coffee makers and exercise bikes. This ship might not look pretty, but it's going to fly. Lisa activated the new weapon system. The mining laser powered up with a low humming sound. And if those pirates come back, they're going to get a surprise. Sarah looked. Around at her crew, they were tired and dirty, but they were smiling. 8 hours ago, they were dead in space. Now they had a ship that might actually fight back. All right, Sarah said. Let's see what this thing can do. Marcus started the modified propulsion system. The ship shuddered and groaned. Strange noises echoed through the corridors, but slowly, very slowly, the resilience began to move. We're moving, Tom shouted. We're actually moving. Sarah looked at the stars through the main window. They were no longer drifting helplessly. We're flying again. It wasn't much, but it was enough. The pirates thought they had left the humans to die. They thought human technology was weak and useless. They were about to learn how wrong they were. The Resilience moved slowly through space toward Kepler Station. The jury-rigged engines made strange noises, but they kept working. Captain Sarah Chen watched the stars through the main window and tried not to think about how many things could still go wrong. How long until we reach the station? She asked Tom. Tom checked his makeshift navigation computer. 3 tablets held together with tape and cables. About 2 days at this speed, Captain? Good, the mining colony on Haven can wait a little longer for their supplies. Sarah paused, assuming we make it there alive. Marcus floated up from the engine room. His clothes were covered in grease and his hands were cut from working with sharp metal. The propulsion system is holding together, barely, but we're moving. Dr. Lisa Park was at her new weapon control station. She had connected the mining laser to a targeting computer made from gaming devices. I've been practicing with the laser array. It's not accurate, but it's powerful. Jenny suddenly looked up from her communications panel. Captain, I'm picking up ships on the scanner. 3 of them. Same configuration as the pirates who attacked us. Sarah's heart started beating. Faster, are you sure? Yes, Captain. And they're coming this way fast, Sarah thought quickly. The pirates must have been waiting near Kepler Station for other ships to rob. Or maybe they had come back to make sure the Resilience was really dead. How long until they reach us? Sarah asked. Maybe 20 minutes, Jenny replied. Sarah looked around at her crew. They had worked miracles to get their ship moving again. But fighting 3 pirate ships with a cargo hauler held together by spare parts and determination seemed impossible. Options, she asked. Marcus shook his head. We can't outrun them. Our engines are too slow. We can't hide, Tom added. They've already seen us on their scanners. Elisa checked her weapon systems. We have 1 mining laser. They have military grade. Energy weapons and shields. Sarah made her decision. Then we fight. It's better than giving up. Captain, Dr. Park said, I have an idea. These pirates expect us to behave like other ships. They expect us to run in a straight line or surrender immediately. What are you suggesting? Human combat tactics? Unpredictable movement? Use our weakness as a strength. Sarah nodded. Explain. Our propulsion system is unstable. Instead of trying to fix that, we use it. Random course changes, erratic speed, make it impossible for them to target us accurately. Marcus understood immediately. Our jury-rigged systems will look like random failures to their scanners. Won't know what we're really doing. Incoming transmission, Jenny announced. The main screen showed the familiar face of war leader Ziegfer. The alien looked surprised and angry. Impossible, he growled. Your ship was dead. How are you moving? Sarah stepped forward. She tried to look scared and desperate. Please, we barely got our engines working. We're heading to the nearest station for repairs. We don't want any trouble. The alien laughed. You think your pathetic repairs will save you? We will finish what we started. Prepare to die, humans. Transmission ended. Sarah turned to her crew. Remember, they think we're helpless. Let's keep it that way until the last second. The 3 pirate ships spread out in attack formation. They moved with military precision, like they had done this many times before. The Resilience continued on its course, seeming to struggle with each meter of movement. Jenny reported. Wait for it, Sarah said calmly. The pirates fired. 3 energy beams shot toward the Resilience. At the last second, Marcus fired the garbage disposal thrusters at full power. The ship lurched sideways in a completely unexpected direction. The pirate weapons missed completely. What? Ziegfer's voice came over the radio. How did they move like that? The pirates adjusted their aim and fired again. This time Lisa fired the mining laser while Marcus made the ship spin wildly. The powerful laser beam cut across space and hit one of the pirate ships directly. The alien shields, designed to stop normal energy weapons, could not handle the mining laser's raw power. The beam burned through the shield and cut a hole in the pirate ship's hull. Air and debris exploded into space. Impossible, Ziegfer screamed. How do they have such weapons? Sarah smiled. Because you underestimated us, the remaining pirate. Ships attacked with fury. They fired everything they had at the Resilience. But the human ship moved like nothing they had ever seen before. It twisted and spun and changed direction in ways that made no sense. Marcus used every trick he could. Think of he fired thrusters at random intervals. He changed the power flow to make the ship shake and vibrate. To the pirates, it looked like the ship was falling apart, but somehow still fighting. Lisa aimed the mining laser at the second pirate ship. The beam hit the engine section and caused a massive explosion. The ship broke into pieces. One left, she announced. Ziegfer's ship was larger and more heavily armed than the others. It had better shields and more powerful weapons. The alien leader was no longer confident. He was angry and desperate. You think you have one? He transmitted. I will ram your ship. We will die together. The pirate ship accelerated directly toward the Resilience. Zickfair planned to crash into the human ship and destroy them both. He's coming straight at us, Tom warned out. Sarah had an idea. Marcus, can you make our ship look like it's losing power?
Easy.
What do you have in mind? We're going to play dead again. Let him think he's winning. Marcus reduced power to all systems except life support. The ship's lights dimmed. The engines seemed to sputter and fail. On the pirate scanners, it would look like the resilience was finally breaking down. Zickfair's ship raced toward them. The alien leader was so focused on ramming the human ship that he did not notice the mining laser was still powered up. Now Sarah ordered Lisa fired the laser at maximum power. The beam struck Zickfair's ship in the command section. The alien shields collapsed instantly. The laser burned through the hull and hit the ship's reactor. The explosion lit up space. Like a small star? When the light faded, there was nothing left of Zickfair's ship but glowing debris. Sarah and her crew stared at the empty space where 3 pirate ships had been just minutes before. They had one. A cargo ship held together with spare parts and human stubbornness had defeated 3 military vessels. Did we really just do that? Jenny asked quietly. Marcus checked his systems. The engines are still running. The weapons are still powered. We're still alive. Dr. Park looked at her weapon controls with amazement. The mining laser worked better than I thought it would. Sarah sat down in her captain's chair. Her hands were shaking from excitement and fear. Set course for Kepler Station. We need supplies and repairs. What do we tell them when we get there? Tom asked. Sarah thought about it. The galaxy was full of pirates who thought humans were easy targets. Maybe it was time to change that opinion. We tell them the truth, she said. We tell them that if you attack a human ship, you better be ready for a fight. The Resilience continued toward Kepler Station. The ship looked like a flying junkyard, but it moved with purpose now. The crew had learned something important. Human engineering might look primitive to other species, but it worked when it mattered most, and somewhere in the depths of space. Other pirates were already hearing the story of the cargo ship that fought back. The Resilience docked at Kepler Station 3 days after the battle with the pirates. Captain Sarah Chen walked through the station's corridors and noticed how other beings stared at her crew. Word traveled fast in space stations. Captain Chen called Station Commander Voss, a tall, blue-skinned Altarian. I heard about your encounter with the HFY pirates. Most impressive? Sarah nodded politely. We did what we had to do. 3 pirate ships destroyed by a cargo hauler. The story is spreading through the entire sector. Some people don't believe it. They can believe what they want, Sarah replied. We need supplies and repairs. Commander Voss led them to the station's main trading area. What kind of supplies? Power cells, communication equipment, and anything that can be turned into weapons, Dr. Lisa Park said. Joining the conversation, Voss looked surprised. Plan to fight more pirates? Marcus Rodriguez laughed. We don't plan to fight anyone. But after what happened, we think other pirates might come looking for us. The commander's expression grew serious. You think there will be revenge attacks? War leader Zickfair had brothers, Sarah explained. The HFY clans don't forget when someone kills their family. Over the next 2 days, the crew worked to improve their ship. They bought better power systems and stronger hull plating. Lisa found military-grade targeting computers that had been lost from a government shipment. Marcus discovered a cache of mining explosives that could be modified into missiles. Jenny monitored the station's communication networks. Captain, I'm picking up chatter about us. The pirates are angry. They're calling the Resilience a ghost. Ship? A ghost ship? Sarah asked. They think it's impossible for humans to fight back. Some of them believe we made a deal with evil spirits or alien technology. Tom laughed. If only they knew our secret weapon is kitchen appliances and garbage disposal systems. But not everyone on the station was friendly. In a dark bar near the docking bays, alien mercenaries whispered about the bounty that Vexstar, the supreme leader of the HFY clans, had placed on the Resilience. 1 million credits for the human ship, said a reptilian saurian bounty hunter, dead or alive. The humans got lucky once, growled a HFY warrior who had escaped from Zickfair's fleet. They cannot fight real warriors. Maybe, said the saurian, but 1 million credits is 1 million credits. The next morning, Sarah received a priority message on her personal communicator. The sender was unknown, but the voice was clearly Kethfer, human captain. The alien voice spoke with hatred. I am Vexstar, supreme leader of all Kethfer clans. You killed my brother Zekver. For this crime, you will die slowly. I have placed a blood bounty on your ship. Every mercenary and pirate in 10 sectors will hunt you. You cannot hide. You cannot run. You will pay for your crimes against the Kethfer people. Sarah called her crew together in the ship's mess hall. She played the message for everyone to hear. Well, Marcus said after it finished, "That's not good. How bad is a blood bounty?" Jenny asked. Lisa had military experience. It means every criminal in the galaxy will try to collect the reward. We're going to be hunted wherever we go. So what do we do? Tom asked. Sarah looked around at her crew. They had already proven they could fight when they had to. Fighting one group of pirates was different from fighting an entire criminal organization. We could surrender, she said quietly. Turn ourselves in to the Galactic Patrol. Ask for protection. The crew was silent for a moment. Then Marcus spoke up. Captain, with respect, that's not going to work. The Galactic Patrol doesn't have enough ships to protect us everywhere. Some of their officers can be bought by pirates. Besides, Lisa added, we haven't done anything wrong. Defended ourselves against criminals. Why should we hide? Jenny nodded. The pirates started this fight. Maybe it's time they learned what happens when you attack humans. Sarah felt proud of her crew. They were scared, but they weren't backing down. All right then, we keep flying. We deliver our cargo to the colonies that need it. And if pirates want to hunt us, they better be ready for a fight. The Resilients left Kepler Station the next day. Their destination was Haven Colony, which still needed the medical supplies they were carrying. But Sarah knew they wouldn't make it there without trouble. She was right. 2 days into their journey, Jenny detected ships following them. For vessels, keeping their distance, she reported, mixed configuration. Probably mercenaries. Are they definitely hostile? Sarah asked. They're trying to hide their presence. Good guys don't usually do that. Lisa prepared the weapon systems. The ship now had 2 mining lasers, a missile launcher made from mining explosives, and defensive shields powered by kitchen equipment. It still looked like a cargo hauler, but it had the firepower of a light warship. Let them follow us for now, Sarah decided. See what they do. The mercenaries followed the Resilients for 6 hours. They stayed just out of weapon range, waiting for the right moment to attack. Sarah used the time to prepare her crew. Remember, our advantage is that they don't know what we can really do, she told them. They expect us to fight like other cargo ships. Instead, we fight like humans. What does that mean exactly? Tom asked. Marcus grinned. It means we cheat. We break the rules. We do things that make no sense to alien minds. Finally, the mercenaries made their move. They accelerated toward the Resilients in attack formation. Sarah recognized the ships, 2 Saurian fighters, 1 Kethfer cruiser, and a human-built vessel that had probably been stolen from traders. Incoming transmission, Jenny announced. A reptilian face appeared on the screen. Human cargo ship. This is Captain Sisk of the mercenary vessel Predator. Surrender immediately, and we will make your death quick. Sarah stepped forward. This is Captain Chen. We're carrying medical supplies to a colony. Let us pass and no one gets hurt. The Saurian laughed. You killed Kethver warriors. There is a bounty on your heads. Prepare to die.
Ow.
The transmission ended. The 4 mercenary ships spread out to surround the Resilients. Here we go again, Sarah said. Let's show them what humans can do. The battle began when the Saurian fighters opened fire, but the Resilients was ready. Lisa launched mining explosive missiles, while Marcus made the ship dance through space in impossible patterns. The mercenaries had studied the previous battle, but they still couldn't predict human tactics. One Saurian fighter exploded when a missile hit its engine. The second fighter tried to ram the Resilients, but Marcus used the garbage disposal thrusters to spin the ship out of the way. The fighter crashed into empty space. The Kethver cruiser had heavier armor and shields. Lisa fired both mining lasers at the same time. The combined power overloaded the alien shields and melted through the hull. The cruiser lost life support and drifted helplessly. That left the stolen human ship. The mercenary captain was clever. He knew how human ships were built. He targeted the Resilience's weak points with precision weapons. "He's good," Marcus admitted. As the ship shook under enemy fire, "He knows our design." "Then we changed the design," Sarah said. She had an idea. "Lisa, can you reroute power from life support to the shields?" "For how long?" "Just long enough to get close." Lisa made the adjustments. The Resilience's shields became much stronger, but the crew would run out of air in a few minutes. Sarah ordered Marcus to fly straight at the enemy ship. The mercenary captain was confused. Why would the humans sacrifice themselves in a suicide attack? He kept firing, but the Resilience's enhanced shields held. At the last second, Sarah ordered full reverse thrust. The Resilience stopped just meters from the enemy ship. Lisa fired the mining lasers at point-blank range. The beams tore through the enemy hull like it was made of paper. The battle was over. For more enemy ships had been destroyed by the cargo hauler that refused to die. Sarah looked at her crew. They were breathing hard and covered in sweat, but they were smiling. "How many bounty hunters do you think heard about this fight?" "Asked all of them," Jenny replied. "The story is already spreading on the communication networks." Sarah nodded. "Good. Let the galaxy know that humans were not easy prey. Let them know that the Resilience was coming, and it was very, very dangerous." The Resilience finally reached Haven Colony after 3 months of constant fighting. Captain Sarah Chen stood on the observation deck and watched the small settlement grow larger on the screen. The colony looked peaceful from space, but she knew. The people there were dying from disease. "Medical supplies ready for transport," Dr. Lisa Park reported. "The colonists are going to be very happy to see us, assuming we can land safely," Marcus Rodriguez said. He was checking the ship's systems for the 100th time that day. "We've fought 12 different groups of pirates and mercenaries. The ship is holding together, but barely." Sarah nodded. The Resilience looked nothing like the cargo hauler that had left Earth months ago. Weapons covered the hull. Armor plating from destroyed enemy ships protected vital areas. The ship was a patchwork of human engineering and alien technology, all held together with determination and spare parts. A word from Baxter. Sarah asked Jenny. Jenny monitored communications from her station. Nothing in the last 2 days. "But Captain, I'm picking up a lot of ship traffic near the colony. More than there should be." Tom checked his sensors. Jenny's right. "I count at least 20 ships in the outer system. They're trying to hide, but they're there." Sarah felt her stomach tighten. "It's a trap." Lisa understood immediately. Vexstar isn't just hunting us anymore. He's using the colony as bait. The crew gathered around the main display. The innocent-looking colony was surrounded by hidden pirate ships. Vexstar had gambled that the humans would try to deliver their medical supplies no matter what. He was right. "We could turn around," Tom suggested. "Find another route to the colony." "There's no other route," Sarah replied. "Haven Colony is too far from the main shipping lanes. If we don't deliver these supplies, people will die. And if we go down there, we'll die," Marcus pointed out. Sarah looked at her crew. They had come so far together. They had turned a disabled cargo ship into something that struck fear into pirates across the galaxy. But this was their biggest challenge yet. "Options?" she asked. "We could call for help," Jenny suggested. "The Galactic Patrol might respond to a distress call." "Wait. Too far away," Lisa said. "Even if they believed us, it would take days for patrol ships to get here." "What about fighting our way through?" Tom asked. Marcus shook his head. 20 ships. Our weapons are good, but we're not miracle workers." Sarah studied the display. The pirate ships were positioned to block every approach to the colony. Had planned this carefully. He wanted to end the legend of the Resilience once and for all. "There is one way," Sarah said slowly. "But it's crazy." "Crazy has worked for us so far," Marcus replied. Sarah pointed to the colony on the screen. "We don't fight our way to Haven Colony. We fight from Haven Colony." The crew looked confused. Explain, Lisa said. The pirates expect us to approach the colony normally. Instead, we crash land on the planet. We use the colony's communication array to broadcast our fight to the entire galaxy. Crash land? Tom repeated, on purpose? The ship is already damaged. We can make it look like an accident. The pirates will come down to finish us off, but we'll be ready. Jenny understood. The plan. You want to turn the colony into a battlefield? I want to show the galaxy what happens when you threaten human colonies, Sarah corrected. Every species will see that humans protect their own, no matter what the cost. The crew was quiet for a moment. The plan was dangerous. They might all die. But they might also save the colony and end the pirate threat forever. I'm in, Lisa said first. Me too, Marcus added. One by one, the rest of the crew agreed. They would make their last stand on Haven Colony. Sarah opened a communication. Channel 2 the colony. Haven Colony. This is Captain Chen of the cargo vessel Resilience. We have your medical supplies, but we're under attack. We're going to crash land near your settlement. Get everyone into the emergency shelters. The colony's leader, Dr. Martinez, responded immediately. Captain Chen, we've been following your story on the news feeds. The whole galaxy knows about the Resilience. We're honored to help you. Sarah smiled. The news feeds had been telling their story for weeks. The cargo ship that fought back had become famous across known space. Marcus began the crash landing sequence. He shut down the main engines and let the ship fall toward the planet's surface. To watching pirates, it looked like the Resilience had finally broken down. The ship hit the ground hard. Emergency systems activated as the crew was thrown around the bridge, but Marcus had chosen the landing site carefully. They were in a valley near the colony, protected by hills on 3 sides. Everyone alive? Sarah asked. Ship's not going anywhere, Marcus reported, but our weapons are still online. Lisa checked her combat systems. I've got the mining lasers ready and the missile launchers loaded. Jenny activated the colony's communication array, broadcasting to the entire sector. Everyone's going to see this? Within an hour, Vexstar's fleet began landing troops near the crash site. The Supreme Leader himself came down in a massive assault ship. He wanted to kill the humans personally. Humans of the Resilience, Vexstar's voice boomed across the valley. You have caused enough trouble. Come out and face me with honor. Sarah stepped outside the crashed ship. Her crew followed her, carrying portable weapons. The colonists watched from their shelters, and the galaxy watched through the communication broadcast. I'm here, Vexstar, Sarah called out. Let's finish. The alien leader was huge, even for a Kethfer. He wore ceremonial armor and carried an energy sword. Behind him, 100 warriors prepared for battle. You killed my brother, Vexstar said. For this, you will suffer. Your brother attacked innocent people, Sarah replied. We defended ourselves. The battle began when Vexstar fired his weapon. Sarah and her crew scattered behind the wreckage of their ship. The mining lasers, still powered by the ship's reactors, fired back at the alien forces. The fight was fierce and desperate. The pirates had superior numbers, but the humans had better positions and deadlier weapons. Lisa's modified explosives destroyed enemy vehicles. Marcus used the ship's thrusters to create clouds of dust that confused alien targeting systems. Dr. Park treated wounded colonists who joined the fight. The people of Haven Colony refused to hide while the humans who brought them medicine fought. For their lives, the battle lasted 3 hours. One by one, the alien warriors fell to human weapons and tactics. Vexstar watched his forces being destroyed by a handful of cargo haulers and farmers. Finally, only the alien leader remained. He stood in the middle of the valley, surrounded by the wreckage of his fleet. Impossible, he said. Humans are weak. Cannot defeat the Kethfer. Sarah walked toward him, carrying a mining laser that had been modified into a rifle. You're wrong. Humans aren't weak. We're stubborn. When you attack us, we don't give up. We fight back. And we keep fighting until we win. Vexstar raised his sword for one final attack. Sarah fired the mining laser. The beam cut through his armor and ended the threat forever. The valley fell silent. The battle was over. The last of the Kethber pirates was dead. Jenny's voice came over the communication system. "Captain, we're getting messages from across the galaxy. Military commanders, trade captains, even government officials. They all want to talk to us." Sarah looked around at her crew and the colonists who had fought beside them. They were dirty and tired, but they were alive. More importantly, they had shown the galaxy something important. "Tell them all the same thing," Sarah said. "Humans protect their own. Attack one of us. You attack all of us. And we will always fight back." The Resilience would never fly again, but its legend would last forever. Across the galaxy, pirates began to avoid ships with human crews. The species that everyone thought was weak had proven they were dangerous when cornered and in the wreckage. Of a cargo ship on Haven Colony, Captain Sarah Chen and her crew had changed how the galaxy saw humanity. They were no longer just harmless traders. They were warriors who turned junk into weapons and refused to surrender. The story of the Resilience spread to every world and space station. It became a warning to criminals and a promise to colonists. Humans might not have the best technology or the biggest ships, but they had something more important. They had the will to fight, no matter what the odds.